So in today's video, I actually want to share 5 things that you can write off as a wedding planner in 2022. So I know it's tax season almost, and if you're gearing up and getting ready, you definitely want to watch this video to the end. Hey, I'm Jody Ann Roll, founder of the Event Certificates and EventPlanningTemplates.com, and I work with event planners and wedding planners to help them get more leads into their business. If you're struggling to get found online, don't struggle for too long. Come on over. Let's set up a time to talk. www.eventcertificate.com. I'm jumping right into the list without any delay. So the first thing, and I'm taking this from if you're starting your business, that you can actually write off is your startup expenses. So when you're starting your business, whether you're doing like a launch party or you're doing any kind of pre-launch advertising to get some traffic in, this is stuff you can actually write off in your business, right? So any startup expense, whether you're purchasing supplies before you start booking clients, are write-offable. Is that a word? You know what I mean. And the second thing that you can actually write off are your labor costs. So if you have employees, maybe you have some event day assistants, maybe you have an event coordinator on your team, you can write off those expenses. But I also want to point out, you can also write off contract laborers and freelancers. So if you hired someone on Fiverr or Upwork to quickly do something for you on social media, maybe to just create a logo, whatever that is, you can still write off those expenses. They do not need to be full-time employees in your business, right? Now, the third thing that you can actually write off are your professional services. Now, as you guys know, if you've been watching this channel for a while, I highly recommend when you start your business to always consult with a lawyer, right? And that's for your contracts, as well as to speak to accountants before you start doing anything that can get you in trouble with the government come tax time. So those professional services are things you can write off. Now, in terms of a legal professional, whether you hired the person or you purchased a contract online, you are able to write off that cost. Now, I'll give you an example. When I first started my business, guys, no judgment here. When I first started, I never used to track my expenses very well, right? I just assumed that I'll wait until tax time and I'll put it all together and I'll do it then. And let me tell you, the first time I did that, it was not a pleasant experience. Not just for the tracking, because I had to go back and try to figure everything out, but also when it came time to submit my taxes, when the government came back to me, it was not a pretty number. Right? So what I did the following year was I got a little bit smarter and I actually got a Google Sheet and I put it together and started tracking my expenses monthly. However, as my business started growing, it started to get a bit overwhelming, right? Every month I sit down, be going through with receipts and adding things. It became a bit too much. So one of the things I did was I started adding people to my team that could support me in this way. So I hired an accountant and I also hired a bookkeeper who would help me with the tracking part and the receipts so that every month, all I had to do actually after each expense or anything, it was just flip it over to her by email or just take a photo and send it to her. And she would do all the tracking and I get a profit and loss at the end of the month that I can review and see what that looks like without me doing all the work. But I'm going to be realistic because I know that not everyone is in the position that I am where their business is at the size where they can hire an accountant, hire a bookkeeper, or hire this person, right? And sign up for multiple applications. So I've actually partnered with the company Finance Pal that can help you to do this. So Finance Pal offers you a team of professionals that can work with you to do all of this. They can work with you to be your accountant, your bookkeeper, and they provide everything for your business. The pricing starts as low as $150 per month. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, time is money, and it was worth it for me when I started hiring the professionals to be able to get the time back, right? So time for someone to do all the expense tracking for me, but also time for come tax time. I knew I was not in any trouble. I knew that my tax bill was going to be something that I was expecting as opposed to this massive surprise when I have other expenses on the go. So if you haven't hired anyone as yet, if you're struggling on your own, don't struggle for long. I'm going to link them below. Head on over to Finance Pal and actually check out their services. Speak to one of their professionals, sign up for a quote and see how much it would cost for your business. And you also get access to so many things when you sign up with them. Because if they're using any kind of applications to process your finances, you get access to those applications as well. So definitely worth it. Go on over and check them out and let me know what you think. Fourth thing that you can write off are advertising expenses. So if you're running Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, anything like that, if you signed up for advertisement on the Knot, Wedding Wire, all of those are advertising costs that you can write off. Remember that. And that's a huge part of when clients are trying to bring in clients, right? So if you're in like the focus area, we're trying to book clients and you're trying to generate leads, all of those expenses can be written off. Number 5, and this is one that I was very surprised by, so I had to add it to the list because I had more than 2 people ask me this question. You can write off your insurance expenses. So as a wedding planner or event planner, you might have insurance for your business as a whole, but you might also sometimes need to purchase event-specific insurance. Depending on the type of event, where it's being held, all of that, you might be required sometimes by the venue to purchase additional insurance. Or let's say you're having an outdoor space, kind of like a festival sort, you will need to purchase event-specific insurance. No matter the type, insurance is something that you can write off for your business as long as it's related to your business. So speak to your accountant and speak to your tax professional to ensure that you're on top of this. Now, as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm going to give you a way more extensive list to take away. So I'm going to link below a list that you can download, over 20 expenses that you can write off as a small business owner. And you definitely want to keep this list on hand, because even if you're not the one doing your taxes and someone else's, you want to ensure that when you go through, you can say, excuse me, I have an expense here that you didn't add, and I know that it's a write-off because I have my list. Or something similar, don't be rude. But thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions after watching this video, drop them below and let me know. Thanks so much again, and see you next week.